Hi everyone. I just wanted to go through your Invasive Species Doc assignment that we are working on your first day of science this week. So when you're in your Google Classroom, you're going to see three things for this week. Our weekly warm-up, as always, our Invasive Species Doc, which we are doing first, and then we have something called Endangered Species Research Guide. So I will also make a video for this one, and you will see that on the stream. So for the Invasive Species Doc, if we open that and go ahead and look at it, we can see that there are a little bit of directions. We see invasive species, it's also part A. It says use the link to answer numbers 1 through 4. So this is the link right here. It is the Colorado Parks and Wildlife link. This is where your answers come from through 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so let's look at that together. So if I open this page, it takes me right to the Colorado Parks and Wildlife Invasive Species page. So first, now think of your question number 1 on your document. What are invasive species? First it says, invasive species are plants, animals, insects, or diseases that are not native to Colorado and have harmful negative effects on the economy, that's money, and the environment. They are introduced accidentally or intentionally outside of their native range. So because they are not native to Colorado habitats, they have no natural competitors or predators. Without these checks and balances, the predators, okay, the invaders are able to reproduce very quickly and outcompete native species. Invasive species most often have harmful effects on natural resources and disrupt our use of land and water. So this should help you with question number 1, okay? Now for questions numbers 2, 3, and 4, the directions on the document say to come over here to this menu on the left-hand side and to click on Colorado's top invasive species concerns. Now, when you click on that, you're going to see the title, and you're going to see a heading and 3 kind of subsections. So it says here, invasive species are not native aquatic and terrestrial plants, animals and pathogens that have a harmful impact on natural resources, and the human use of these resources. So there's three sections here, like categories. So if we find something in our environment that's not native, it didn't come from here, it doesn't belong here, it gets categorized into one of these 3 things. So the first one, this says aquatic nuisance species, or ANS for short. Aquatic, so that word, think of aqua, means water. So nuisance, usually if you've heard the word nuisance, you know that it means maybe something that's not wanted or bothersome. So first category here is aquatic nuisance species. They are aquatic plants and animals that invade lakes, reservoirs, rivers, and streams. Examples of aquatic nuisance species are the zebra mussel, that's right here. It looks like a little clam. It's a mussel and it has stripes. Something called the quagga mussel, the New Zealand mud snail, and the Asian carp, or the Eurasian water milfoil. That is a very large fish. Okay. Now, another category of invasive species, or species that don't belong really in Colorado, are your noxious weeds. So noxious kind of means poisonous, okay, or not wanted. So here, this description says, noxious weeds are plants that are not native to our area and cause environmental or economic harm. Most have come from Europe, Asia, or South America, either accidentally or as ornamentals that have escaped. So you know that plants most of the time produce seeds and pollen and sorts. So as the wind blows, okay, if some of those are stuck in some shipments from Europe, Asia, or South America as we trade between countries, they can accidentally make it onto our soil and start to reproduce. Okay, and then we have our third category, forest pests. So forest pests down here, examples of them are beetles, fungi, pathogens, and they threaten millions of trees in the United States. Most of these pests originally arrived from foreign countries on commercial vessels carrying wooden pallets, crates, or anything that contains those pests. So, if you have heard of, which I hope that you have, the Japanese beetle that's kind of decimating a lot of our pine species here, that would be an example of an invasive species under forest pest. Now, there's other pests such as fungi. Okay, pathogens can be microbes like virus or bacteria, and so they threaten a lot of our species as well. Okay, so you have three different categories of invasive species. So when you look at your questions, okay, number one is pretty much what is an invasive species. I read you that paragraph there at the top of this page, this link. Now, 2, 3, and 4, what I've just been going over here, each one has A, B, and C. Okay, so you are looking for clues from the question to help you match which one they are talking about. And they all come from what we just read in these three boxes. Okay, once you are finished with that one, you have numbers 5, 6, and 7. Number 5 is about a 6-minute YouTube video, and it really gets into the Asian carp and how it might affect the economy, the ecosystem, or human health. So these are different parts of our society that these invasive species can affect. And I want you to come up with an example or describe how something is affecting the economy. Like, is it costing us money? Does it affect a house or a building? Things like that. Number 6 is a YouTube video on other harmful invasive species. Okay, you need to pick 3 of them and just describe them below. And number 7, to switch it up, there are also some invasive species that have turned out to be kind of helpful. They have not harmed the economy, the ecosystem, or human health like the other ones do. So in this short video, you want to also pick 3 that might be helpful and describe them below. So that's all you have to do for your invasive species. You'll be given a time to report back to class for us to review this.